Good evening, Superintendent and trustees. Thank you for allowing me to speak. I will be brief tonight with my deep concern of the public education system. I am appalled your high school administration and educators allow your students to walk out of their class and attend an anti-American protest to support illegal immigrants. This stunt is a black eye for the entire Kern County High School District and a total embarrassment for all Kern County residents. If we do not have law enforcement, our nation has nothing. Trustee Manriquez, you will now have to admit you were wrong when stating there are no politics in this school district. Seems like this action by your students is totally a political statement. That proves you are out of touch with your students in your school system. Time for you to go. What a sad day for taxpayers of Kern County that your district opposes law enforcement and the U.S. Constitution. Sanctuary blue states are the root of the problem, with California leading the way. Our public school system is in shambles from brainwashing woke ideology in our youth and promoting what to learn, not how to learn. Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Angelo Frazier.
Thank you, Superintendent Board. I was here last month and I wanted to show you this format. I've given you a packet, so you should have them in front of you that explain each one of these little areas here. I'm going to talk a little bit on it, very brief as well. Again, I want to tell you that I pray for you, I care for you, and I wish you the best. All you do to succeed. You have a tremendous job to do, and we just want to encourage you to do that. The Ten Commandments from a historical setting still echoes the foundational principles that have transcended time and culture, continuing to resonate deeply within our contemporary society. These ancient edicts serve as a moral compass for millions, not only here, but around the world. Their significance extends beyond religious boundaries. They have influenced greatly our own framework for legal system and our cultural norms and our ethical system. In an era marked by rapid change and moral ambiguity, the Ten Commandments offer a foundational guide for personal conduct and social interaction. Yes, they will challenge the individual to reflect on their values and their responsibilities, hopefully fostering a sense of accountability that is crucial in today's interconnected world. The Ten Commandments, along with the historical documents, embody the time-honored principle of freedom of religion, not freedom from religion. Exploring the historical context and influence of these commandments from ancient times offers important historical insights into the lasting effect on human values and behavior. The commandments continue to guide human behavior and decisions throughout our community, and they have lasting moral and ethical influences on all those that reflect upon them. And this is what we need. Our systems seems like they're out of control. We're offering, I think, a better standard. And so I offer your consideration for this, and the foundation that I've given you are for a resolution that I'm working on that you'll see in due time, but that's the framework that I'm using. It is something that God has put on my heart, and so I thank you for your time.
Thank you.
My name is John Hart. We met last month. My comments from then remain unchanged, so I won't repeat them, other than to request that the board, should you consider moving forward with the Ten Commandments proposal, not underestimate the extent of community resistance that you will encounter. Activism in Kern County has changed dramatically in the era of MAGA and Trump, and what was once apathy and ambivalence has been replaced with determination, commitment, and passion across demographics from young to old, all ethnicities, all faiths and denominations, excluding the MAGA fake Christian, of course, as we fight to stop the MAGA agenda, which this proposal is obviously a part. That's all I have on this ridiculous proposal, but I would like to leave a printed copy for you guys of the comments I made last month. And finally, thank you to the Kern High District students who walked out of class last week in complete accordance with the United States Supreme Court ruling in Tinker versus Des Moines in protest of the United States government's assassination squads turned loose on America's streets. We older folks are proud of you. We need you. We stand with you, and let's not let this be a one-off. F ICE, to hell with Trump, to hell with MAGA, and let's keep it going. And finally, 273 more days until November 3rd. Thank you.
Thank you. And our final speaker, Glenn Clayton.
Since the early 60s through early 1990s, controversies over public religious expressions have been among the most frequent to rise to the U.S. Supreme Court. During this period, our nation witnessed 9 justices determining how, where, when, or if public religious activities will occur. For example, in 1965, a Stein versus Olinsky ruling, which stated that freedoms of speech and press are guaranteed to students and to teachers unless the topic is religious. At that time, such speech becomes unconstitutional. In Stone versus Graham, 1980, it was determined that it was unconstitutional for students to see the 10 Commandments since they might read, meditate upon, respect, or obey them. The Supreme Court arrived at this position through its usage of the phrase separation of church and state. These words were the standard for judging religious expression. Therefore, the court began declaring many American customs and traditions unconstitutional. Through the continuous usage over decades, the separation language phrase became so commonplace that many Americans believe that it to be a constitutional phrase found in the First Amendment. No, it's not. It's not found in the First Amendment or in the Constitution. What the First Amendment says is Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. Our founders said no to a state-controlled church. The Pilgrims of 1620 who came to Plymouth, Massachusetts, had been persecuted for many years by an established state-controlled church, the Church of England. The Church of England believed that he was a king by divine right. They persecuted, those persecuted could not meet privately in groups or for worship or study. They were forbidden to read the English Bibles. They were taxed by the established state church. When they tried to leave and go to another country, they were caught and imprisoned. So where does this separation phrase come from? The Constitution was ratified by all 13 states in 1790. 12 years later, in 1802, the newly elected President Thomas Jefferson sent a letter to the Danbury Baptist Association concerned the government would interfere with their religious expressions. Jefferson, an anti-federalist, he didn't believe in big government, used a metaphor to address their worries about the government using its power to take away their God-given right, and saying there is a wall of separation between church and state. President Johnson was not trying to silence the church in political, public, or educational spheres. He was assuring them that the federal government would not control or interfere with their First Amendment right given to them not by man, but by God. Thank you.
Thank you.
I want to thank John Hart for coming up, saying what you had to say. I appreciate Angela Frazier. I know I talked to the superintendent about the fact that we appreciate when you guys come up here and give us your opinion and what's going on in the community and what you support. I've had several conversations with Glenn Clayton in the past. I appreciate your history lesson. I am in support of the Ten Commandments and our historical documents being posted in a common area within the high schools so students can reflect. At this day and age, I think it's important for us to have a moral compass for our students as well as our staff. And so as we continue to debate this, I appreciate the comments and the fact that it's done civilly. And again, I appreciate it. Thank you.
You know, when I'm accused of being a political person, I follow the law. I'm not going one side or the other, and I do appreciate the comments. But also, I'm a father, a brother-in-law of law enforcement. I come from a long line of law enforcement. So I understand what the students are doing. It's not my job to monitor the students. They have parents or guardians. It's not my job to tell them what to and not to do. I also work in an elementary school district. And it's for them and the parents to decide what they need to do. It's not for me. It's not for any of these boards up here. And it's kind of ironic that I get called on in regards because I'm not saying that I'm not bringing politics yet, but we do have board members that do. I also want you guys to understand that it is also, to me, if you know me and you've been around me, this is my 17th year as a board member. I'm very ethical. I do not go use slander. I do not use any kind of swaying in any direction. Everybody has a right to come and speak. And I've always said it, I'll say it once and I'll say it again. Please, when you come up here, please be truthful. Because our kids, our students, our future students are looking at what we're doing. And not trying to portray somebody that we're not. And I understand this is a very heated one way or the other. And we keep politics in. I don't ever bring any congressmen into our schools or go up there and speak with them because they want to come, they have every right. And I understand that some of us get passionate about this. But please never accuse me that I'm not for law enforcement, which means that I'm not for my son or my brother-in-laws or my sister-in-laws or my brother that served in the service. I am here to follow the law. I am not here to decide what law I'm going to break. And in closing, I would like to tell you this. I have been saying, well, we have lawyers that will fight you and defend you. But if this was your money coming out of your checkbook, would you be willing to sacrifice your money? And I say, no. If you do want to, you can contribute if we ever get sued, and I'll hold you to it. I just love what our kids are doing. I love what our kids are standing for, and we need to get back to what is important. This is the third quarter. This is a home stretch. We have a student board member up here waiting to see what university she's going to attend. That's what's important to me. And I appreciate everybody's comment. I understand that this is passionate. I understand that this is civil, and I do appreciate everybody being up here, not like at some board meetings. And I love the conversation, and we'll continue having that conversation. And we can agree to disagree. But please do not be using false statements or using other people's addresses for lies. Thank you.